Welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be listening to some stories about dragons. Like and subscribe.
So the guy that was talking about the dragon got banned and fired from his job because he was talking about a dragon. The dragon ain't real, right? No, come on, man. It's a dragon the size of a continent. So why fire him? So why ban him if it ain't real? And I heard also multiple content creators with over 100K that were truth seekers or conspiracy theorists got banned too. Why ban these people if they're just no threat? I mean, ain't these people in their own little imaginary world? See, these people getting banned because they're telling the truth. They're exposing the truth. They're doing their research too. They're making it make sense to everybody. And yeah, this stuff is some unbelievable stuff, but man, they're making a lot of sense. It's called controlled media, the war on information.
The truth about the Leviathan, and I'm talking beyond the Leviathan truth. I'm talking all the truth, but this has got to be shared. Oh, but first things first, Takey Talk, you know me. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. All things stated here are just speculation. We're just having a little bit of fun. New book goof and let's go. The whole world is buzzing. Is the Leviathan loose? Yes, my friends, in fact, I do believe it is. Who cares who unleashed the Kraken? Because the Kraken, compared to the Leviathan, child's play. But while everybody is talking about the Leviathan possibly being loose down by Antarctica in the oceans, the blob, along with the seas, mysteriously heating up like never before, causing sharks to attack people left and right on the shores down in Florida and I guess probably various places. All marine creatures to become very aggressive and act out of their character, and even many beach themselves and unalive themselves, as if to be running from something massive that they are afraid of. Trust and believe they are, and yes, trust and believe it is huge. No, there is no measure to the size of the Leviathan that would even make sense to you or I. It's big, and it's loose. The Kraken next to the Leviathan looks like a soft shell crab. What? Soft shell crab. Truths. Here we go. While everybody is talking about the Leviathan, yes, in fact, it is a biblical creature, but yes, in fact, just like we are finding out about everything in that Bible, my friends, is true. And yes, in fact, it does live here amongst us in this world today. But nobody's talking about its cousin, the equally horrifying large massive creature. But unlike the Leviathan that is a sea creature, a dragon of the sea of sorts, a multi-headed dragon of the sea to be exact, its illegitimate cousin is landlocked, the behemoth. God made the Leviathan and the behemoth, two of each, on the fifth day. A male and a female, and God looked at it and thought, that's not good. That's probably not great at all. Because it explains in Job 40. Read the whole thing, guys. You have homework. No man, no group of man, no nothing, no army could ever kill the Leviathan. And another thing that it explains about the Leviathan, it lives in the deep abyss. And it, hang on to your britches, makes the waters of the oceans boil. Boil. That might explain why the oceans are remarkably getting hotter suddenly, because perhaps the Leviathan has come up from the abyss, the deeps, where it has lived, and is now roaming about the ocean, preparing for exactly this time. And what is about to happen between it and the behemoth? Chosen ones, elect ones, righteous ones? This should make you excited. But I digress. We will get to that at the end. The Leviathan is like a dragon, a serpent of the sea. It's got multi-heads. It breathes fire and smoke, and it is massive. And the behemoth, its land cousin, it's equally as massive. It dwells in the rivers and the greenlands, and it seems to be described as a herbivore. All right, that's not bone-chilling, but it's huge. Its tail swings like a cedar, and its power is in its belly. Now, one might think to yourself, okay, I could see how they could hide a Leviathan in the sea, because that sea is big. I mean, we're talking big. But how? How could man ever hide a behemoth? A massive land creature like that? Come on, how could you hide that whole thing from the world? I know what you're thinking. Both could easily hide where, well, it seems most obvious. Oh, I don't know, somewhere that is, I don't know, off limits, unavailable to the public for exploration. I don't know, someplace like Antarctica. But Auntie, it's a herbivore. Antarctica is a big land of continent ice continent. I'm not laughing at the fact it's not. Actually, I am, but I'm laughing at the fact I said it like that. What if I were to tell you, it is my hunch, and the fact that the blob first appeared in Antarctic waters and went along up the coast of South America in April, right around the same time the seas started to get a lot hotter. That does tend to make me think, oh, now we can understand why they don't want us down in Antarctica at all of the countries. But how could the behemoth hide in Antarctica if it's all snow-covered and there's no trees or rivers for it to dwell in? Well, my friends, that's easy. Because not only is Antarctica not a continent just full of ice, Antarctica, my friends, is an ice wall. And I do truly believe that along with the Leviathan being hid down deep in the waters, the abyss down in the Antarctic waters, that is exactly where the behemoth has been hiding as well. Well, not in the waters, but on the land. But we'll get to that. One sec. There are some vital truths that you need to understand for this all to come together and make sense. Vital truth number 1. NASA in Hebrew means deceive. NASA originally was founded to explore something far different than outer space. NASA's main focus was always the ocean, exploring the great depths of the unexplored ocean itself. In fact, NASA was busy exploring the oceans in the 40s and the 50s, with whispers of a project called Project Leviathan. But quickly, one comment he made on one nationally broadcast TV show in the 50s changed it all. And an unusual set of events took place. And that man, my friends, was Admiral Richard E. Byrd. Hands down, by far, notoriously the most notable and amazing polar explorer America has ever known. Nay, the world has ever known. A pilot, and not just any pilot, but the first pilot to ever fly over the South Pole in 1920-something. I don't remember, and I'm running late. The very same polar explorer who spearheaded Project High Jump. In 1946, extended to 1947, an exploration team that explored Antarctica and the South Pole. And my friends, what Admiral Richard E. Byrd discovered, that is what changed everything, and fast. Admiral Richard E. Byrd went on television to explain their findings. I have shared videos about this in the clip. You can easily Google it. I'm not going to share it on this video because this video is staying up. But in a nutshell, he said, we discovered land, undiscovered land, inhabitable Greenland, the size of America, maybe a little bit larger, just beyond the South Pole. Well, now that's shocking. Green, lush, inhabitable, full of minerals, rich with ore. And why have we not heard of this since then? And why does that place not have a name? And even better, why is that place still not on a map? I digress. Well, no, before I digress, why do they still want us to believe Antarctica is a big old snowy continent when we know better? It is, in fact, my friends, an ice wall. Before I go on further to explain the odd events in their order of occurrence, there's another vital truth you must understand. There is, in fact, a firmament above us. It was so important, God placed it on the second day, and it is right there smack dab on the first page of the Bible. What's a firmament, Auntie? Oh, I got you. It is an impenetrable dome over us that separates the waters above from the waters below. Impenetrable. Ain't nobody getting out, and nobody's getting in. Making NASA and space travel an absolute farce. After Richard E. Byrd exposed this truth on TV, according to his journals, boy, the government was not happy, not at all. They told him to zip it and never say it again. But it seems as though I don't know if they felt they could trust him with that. And in 1957, not long after the airing of that episode, 60-year-old Admiral Richard E. Byrd, one of the most physically fit polar explorers of American history, passed away unexpectedly of a heart attack in his sleep. And it is a shame he passed away. Had he just hung on less than a year later, he could have witnessed one thing. In 1958, the founding of NASA. Same explorers, just different place. Space. Many are understanding now it was more of a distraction or diversion. Don't look down there, look up there, sort of thing. Because remember, boys and girls, space, it does not exist. And ironically, not so ironically, just a year after that, in 1959, the Antarctic Treaty was signed by 12 countries, making personal exploration of Antarctica impossible. The public was no longer allowed, it was off limits. I'll give you just a second there to do that math. So we know now, our eyes are wide open. NASA, it's a farce. Why were they so interested in the oceans before? And why did they have to distract us with outer space after Admiral Richard E. Byrd dropped the bag explaining that he found inhabitable Greenland just beyond the South Pole, the size of America? Yet we have never seen or heard of that land ever since. Enter the Antarctic Treaty signed by these countries, making it impossible for us to go chickadee check that all out. What do you suppose they've been hiding this whole time? Did Admiral Richard E. Byrd happen to find more than just land, inhabitable land beyond the South Pole? Greenland? Lush land? Did NASA actually find something more in the ocean? Perhaps the one thing they'd been looking for all along? Perhaps in that one spot, well, we're just not ever allowed to go? Did NASA discover the Leviathan down in the Antarctic area, around or along the ice wall? And did Admiral Richard E. Byrd either A, discover the behemoth? Because remember, there's green, inhabitable, lush land down there. And that is the exact kind of inhabitants the behemoth would love and live in. And if he didn't see the behemoth for himself, did he at least accidentally discover the behemoth's home sweet home? Could both of these biblical beasts, these monstrous, massive beasts, have been hiding down there in Antarctica all along? Now here's why the chosen, the elect, and the righteous should be totally excited with the fact that the Leviathan, might in fact be loose. Because biblically, there is a story where the Leviathan and the behemoth, because now there are only one. But in the end of days, the behemoth and the Leviathan, I'm talking the end of days, will not only meet up in the same place, same time, y'all, those two, they're gonna have beef. And there shall ensue the most epic biblical battle between the behemoth and the Leviathan. Behemoth's horns will interlock, and the fins of the Leviathan will do harm. But at that point, God will intercede and slay them both. And the chosen and the elect and the righteous will witness this. And not only witness this, but they will feast on the beast of the land under the canopies made of the Leviathan skin. So there you have it. If the Leviathan's loose, don't be scared. Be excited, because it could potentially be by far, hands down, one of the final biblical prophecies before Yeshua's return. And I don't know about you, chosen ones, but I'm hungry, and I am so ready to go back home. The most interesting thing is we actually know the name of the land where the behemoth lives. It is called Duodain, and it is east of Eden. Could this lush land that Admiral Richard D. Byrd found and discovered actually be Duodain that we've never heard of? Right next to the abyss where the Leviathan had been thrown? Could this be where these two creatures have stayed ever since? Could Duodain be an area that we've never been able to see for ourselves because, well, it's off limits down by Antarctica, the ice wall, just east of Eden? And could Antarctica actually house Eden as well?
I'm starting to think, was it even a meteor that destroyed the dinosaurs? Because what if it was this big, like, do you see how big this thing is? Like, we are literally like algae, microscopic to this thing. This makes more sense than just a magical, whatever they try to say is in, like, and then people are finding like abandoned ships, like abandoned crashed ships with nobody on them, or, you know what I'm saying, or things are disappearing. This makes sense because this thing can literally inhale 5 planes at once and not blink and not think about it and burp and go back down in the water or go back down wherever he's going. But I do feel like he couldn't get to her this whole time because or get to the area where she was at because she was frozen. She was frozen underneath where we're not allowed to go. So now that the ice is melting, like, those are the two things. Those are the two theories I have. Like, I don't know. Like, because some people are like, he's sleeping. I'm like, but God said there were 2. In the book of Enoch, there were 2. So the one that we're seeing is clearly froze under the ice. Like, you can see the wings and everything. Like, we're algae, y'all. We're algae. We're just green little, I'll still never forget the guy who, when he went there to the ice area, he was like, God help us all. Like, did y'all see that? Like, we couldn't see it before. Like, we couldn't see that before. And then when you go on Google Maps, for some reason, it's y'all, they're just tricking us. This is an illusion, because when you go and try to stroll the globe, like, it just doesn't make sense for something that big to be on a globe like this. Like, it just doesn't make sense now. I'm sorry. Like, it's not adding up. All this other stuff I feel like is just, maybe they're trying to, I do see why we're trying to leave. I see why now, because I'm like, why would you want to go? Like, what's the point of outer space? Like, that's why, like, anywhere but here, because this thing, and then it also says fire will destroy the earth. Fire next time. And then the waters are heating up, the animals are upset. I do feel like that. I feel like this the whole time, like, it's deeper, the water, and I'm thinking, excuse me, I think I'm gonna just draw out what I think. I mean, we have some type of connection and psyche to the earth and to, like, everything that's around us anyway, right? I think I'm gonna try to draw up exactly what I feel like the earth really, really looks like, because it's way bigger than what we're saying, what we're being told. It has to be. It's no way possible that a creature that big is on the earth, like, that small. We're too little for it. It makes Earth look like a cage.
Have you guys heard Leviathan may be here? Leviathan may be in the sea. If you haven't heard of Leviathan, Leviathan is a serpent that was created by God. There were 2 Leviathans, but God destroyed one and fed it to the righteous. You can read in the book of Psalms. There's scripture also in the book of Job, in the book of Isaiah. And God destroyed one in order to keep
order, because two Leviathans will wreak havoc on all the earth. They would create too much chaos. But it was created to show the true power of God over all his creation. And it is a very, very powerful being. And it will come to light. It will come out soon to be. It is a end times revelation, and people have been talking about it lately. We're not sure if people have been truly like noticing signs of Leviathan or not, how legitimate it is. However, I think it is definitely prophetic that people have been bringing this up now, and this has been a big topic. It is definitely prophetic, and it is signs of the times for sure. Not even sure if you've seen the video of all the orcas like screaming and washing up on shore, trying to get out of the ocean. Everyone's like, what is wrong? This has never happened before. This isn't normal. And then what are those fish? I forgot. The fish that lives like 3,000 feet below in the darkness and is washing up on shore. It literally slipped my mind. But it's just some weird phenomenons happening, and people are just saying these are signs of Leviathan, possibly. So what do you guys think? Have you guys seen anything else? Is this all new to you? Like, let me know what you guys think.
I told you this thing was waking up. Have you guys seen how much the land has moved in Wyoming? Here, watch this video. Y'all better prepare.
You ready for something wild? That's a fault line. Crack goes up there, comes down here. Crosses our road here. This is all sinking in here. Like that, it's literally moving. You can see it cross all the way through there, all the way on that hillside. How deep that is? It's probably a good 2 feet deep. Like it just unearthed that. But that's not even the wildest part. I gotta take a step back to show you. That's our road. It moved about 5 feet that way. This is where we used to drive. And that's where it moved to. It's kind of scary driving over top of it, actually. Kind of worried that the truck might fall in one of these days. Can't see, but there's another one happening there. And like 5 more down this road. But this is the worst one so far.
I told you all, there have been major earthquakes at the head of this dragon at Drake's Passage. Not only that, there's been multiple earthquakes around the joint area where it looks like these are wings on this beast. I told you all, it is thawing out. Once it thaws out enough to move, it's going to move, and North America and South America will shift with it. And as you can see in that last video, she has already started to move. He just said that their road shifted about 5 feet. People, the more the summer goes on and the more this animal thaws out, the more she is going to move. I do not believe that it is going to stand up because the other wing is still frozen. So I still believe it's a reptile. So being that that other wing is still frozen, Antarctica, still partially frozen, it's not going to be able to completely get up, but it's going to be able to move that other wing that's thawed out. And that wing is South America and North America. People, this thing is huge. You know, it brings another meaning to body of water.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.